No, it's not you. It's me. I found someone else. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we are going to be going over every single Deadpool popcorn bucket that I was able to find and purchase for this upcoming Deadpool Wolverine movie. Now, typically I would go and do a review during my review of the actual film itself, but since there were so many popcorn buckets, I decided to try to purchase as many as I can, all of the unique ones, none of really of the tin ones too much. And just showcase them all here because I think they're all so unique. I think they're all fun. They all have a unique story to tell of how I was able to achieve them and get them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the popcorn buckets. Now, none of these are going to be in any particular order. I'm not ranking them or anything like that. I just want to showcase them in the order that I kind of got them, except for one of them, of course. But with that being said, we're going to go with the first one that I was able to find, the Wolverine head. And this one is from the Cinemark movie theaters. There was this one as well as the taxi with Deadpool sitting on top. And this one was kind of a fun story just because they released these a few days before the movie actually came out. They released these on Tuesday. And I was working that day, so I was really worried that they were going to be sold out before I was able to get off work. And around like 5 o'clock, I call one of the closest Cinemarks to me, and they tell me that they do have them in stock, but one of them already sold out. And I was like, I was devastated. I was like, no, I wanted to get at least one of them, So I figured that this one was going to be the one that sold out the fastest, and this one was still going to be there, which I'm still very happy with this one. I'm lucky enough to got both of them. And about an hour later into the day, I called the next nearest Cinemark, and they were like, yeah, we have them in stock, but they're running out fast. So get here quick. And I check, my GPS, and it says I'll be getting there in about like 35 minutes. And I'm like, damn, like that's a long time. They can sell out within those 35 minutes. I got to get the hell out of here. So I rush over there, I get in my car, I start driving directly to that Cinemark. I park really fast. I get in the door, I open up the door, and I see them on the shelf. And there was two left of the Wolverine head, which this one is still pretty cool. I love that it has that, the fins on the side. It's the more traditional one. This one's definitely a little bit easier to display than the other Wolverine that we'll talk about. This one's cool too. His head opens up, and that's where you'll put the popcorn bucket and everything like that. So they had two of these left. I grabbed it, and they had three left of the Deadpool on top of the taxi, which again, you can open up and you fill up all the popcorn actually within the taxi itself, and Deadpool sits nice and pretty on top. So I think both these are really, really fun. I love this one because this one's like such a cool one to display. Like if you didn't know any different, you probably wouldn't know this is a popcorn bucket. That's why I really love these. So you can kind of just have it on the shelf, and it doesn't look too crazy. It doesn't look like a cheap plastic popcorn bucket. It looks really, really good, really legit. This one definitely looks a little bit more like a popcorn bucket, a little bit cheaper. It's very plasticky. The wheels don't roll or anything like that, but it's still a very, very fun popcorn bucket. So these are from Cinemark. And up next, this is from AMC. Real quick, I just want to showcase the cup that I was able to get as well. So this one was really cool, the Deadpool cup with his face on it, and then you have this little attachment on top that was random, that you couldn't pick and choose which topper you got on the cup. It says Deadpool on the back here. It has a really nice texture to it. It comes with this really cool rubber straw that's pretty easy to clean and stuff. So this is definitely going to be like my day-to-day water cup when I go to work and stuff now. This is absolutely awesome. And then it comes with the head pool on top as well, which was one of the popcorn buckets of AMC, which we'll go over right now. Alrighty, and obviously there was two popcorn buckets at the AMC theaters, but I want to go over that one last because that is the most hyped popcorn bucket of this year probably. But I absolutely love this one. I think this one might be my favorite. I just love the design of it. I love that it's, it's movable. Like when I saw it in a picture, I thought this was all going to be hard plastic, but no, there's like a really cool rubber feel to it. The mouth, moves as well. You have the moving propeller and everything. So this one more so than the Wolverine one. This one definitely looks like something that you would have bought off of like a collection website, and it just looks so good and realistic. Even like the eyes look really nice and realistic. The way it looks like it's actually staring down at you. Where displaying this one, it looks like the least that it's an actual popcorn bucket and not just a head that you bought off of a collection website. And then of course on this one, the head pops open. I would probably never put popcorn in this thing, because just look at all those crevices. If you can see that from there, there's no way you can clean this thing properly enough to actually eat popcorn out of. So this one is just gonna stay on the shelf and looking pretty, but I absolutely love this one. This one was really funny story too. I get to the AMC like around like 10:40ish, because for some reason I didn't realize that theaters don't really display the times that they open. I guess it's just kind of depending on what like show times they have and things like that. But I get there like at 10:40. There's a line of like 12 people waiting already. More people come. By the time we get in, there's like 30 people waiting. And we're all sitting there, we're waiting for them to open. They open at 11:30, and one of the kind of concession stand girls comes out and says, if you guys want to buy a popcorn bucket, you need a valid ticket for this theater, which I didn't have. I had a ticket for Deadpool Wolverine at a different AMC, but the one I went to was the closest one that I lived to. And luckily I am a AMC A-lister, so I just went on there, I bought a ticket. It didn't have to be for Deadpool Wolverine, it could be for any movie as long as it was for that theater. And we were able to get in. I show them my ticket, get my popcorn buckets, and get out. And I was so hyped that I was able to get both of these, plus the cup, because I think the cup is absolutely awesome as well. And I think this one for sure is my favorite of the bunch so far. And probably the second most sought out for popcorn bucket of this movie, besides the Wolverine mouth one, is Baby Pool. This was absolutely awesome. When I first saw this announced, I was in love with it. This is probably my second favorite one beyond the head pool. And this one was also kind of funny too, because while I was in line for AMC to get the head pool and the Wolverine mouth one, some people behind me were like, oh yeah, we saw on TikTok that the Regal next to this area they're all sold out. They sold out last night. And I was like, no, that's where I was gonna go after the AMC. And so I was like, all right, so I mean, luckily they told me, so I didn't waste my time and drove over there. And I go to the next nearest Regal next to me. I get there, it is dead. Like there is no one in the parking lot. So I'm like, damn, they probably don't even have it. Or if they did, they probably sold out already. I'm wasting my time. But I was like, fuck it, let me go in, let me see if they have it. I walk in, the lady, introduces me like, hey, do you have a ticket, or are you here for the popcorn bucket? I'm like, I'm here for the popcorn bucket. She's like, okay, cool. They're at the concession stand. I'm like, awesome. I don't have to buy a ticket. I walk straight up there. I asked them for the Baby Pool popcorn bucket, of course, which again is very awesome. On top, there's a drink. So it comes with a straw, so you can drink out of here on the top. And then you have the popcorn in the back as well. So this was actually a freaking awesome Deadpool popcorn bucket. This is probably the most versatile one out of all of them. But anyways, I get the popcorn bucket. They put it on the counter, and the lady that's ringing me up, she tells me, she's like, yeah, people were calling us yesterday for this popcorn bucket, but we didn't know we had them in stock already. They were in the back room and we didn't know about it. So I told a bunch of people that we're not selling them. And so we have a bunch left over. I was like, oh my God, I got so freaking lucky that I was able to get this popcorn bucket, because they most likely would have been sold out if that wouldn't have happened, and that mistake in them not knowing that they had them in stock. So I thought that was such a funny thing and such a lucky thing that happened to me, on the search for all of these popcorn buckets. So, and I absolutely love this one. I love the design of it. The attention to detail is just freaking awesome. Like the Dune popcorn bucket just started a absolute trend of badass popcorn buckets, and I'm here for it. I'm here for them to stay, and I want them to continue doing badass things like this, because these are so fun. They're so fun to collect. And again, they're popcorn buckets that you can't even tell that that's what they are. They just look like collectibles, and that's the joy of it, that it's so awesome that you can display and people, ask about it. You can tell a funny story and, about how you got it and, what movie it's for. And, there's an experience with it. There's an experience of the movie with it. So it just makes for a fun collectible beyond just like a regular figurine that you can buy online, because there's a story behind it, and that's why I absolutely love these popcorn buckets. Alrighty, and probably the most frustrating one to get, and that is the Deadpool head popcorn bucket from the Alamo Draft House. And this one was frustrating. So I went again to the AMC in the morning, and then right after I went to the Regal to get the baby pool. And then I drove to the Alamo Draft House, and there's only one Alamo Draft House near me, which was about 45 minutes away from the Regal that I was at. And I get there. Online, it says that they open at 11 o'clock. I get there around like 12:40, 12:50. So I'm like, all right, they should be open. They should have them in stock. Cool. I get there, I go to the door, and there's some guy waiting outside, and he's like, hey, they're not open yet. They said they're gonna be open at 1:45. I was like, what? Really? So I was like, all right, whatever. I'll wait here. I'll chill. And I asked him, I was like, oh, do you know if they have the popcorn bucket? And he's like, yeah, I called them and they said they're gonna have it. I was like, all right, cool. Not a problem. I'll wait the hour. Doesn't matter. So we're there, we're chilling. Someone else, pulls up. He's waiting for it as well. And we're just waiting, talking about the movie, talking about the popcorn buckets, stuff like that. And 1:45 hits, and they open the doors, and they said, all right, guys, you guys are good to come in. We're like, all right, cool. Let me go buy my popcorn bucket. Let me get the fuck out of here, because I'm tired. I want to go home. I've spent all day long running around the sun. It's time to go home. I walk inside, and the lady is like, oh, do you guys have your tickets? And we're like, no, we're here for the popcorn bucket. And she's like, okay, like, I see your tickets. And I was like, what? I was like, God damn it, like another one? And I was like, okay, so I need a ticket to buy the popcorn bucket. And she's like, yeah, you do. I'm like, all right, no worries. And I wanted to let the guy in front of me go first, because he was waiting before me, but he was kind of like contemplating whether or not he wanted to buy a ticket to buy the popcorn bucket. And I can totally understand that, that's kind of annoying that you're going to buy a ticket that for a movie you're not going to see right then and there. You're just there to buy the popcorn bucket. But I was like, whatever's, I'll buy the ticket. So I go to the concession stand. I tell her whatever's. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll buy the ticket. So okay, there's only one seat left. I'm like, okay, cool. So I buy it. The theater's sold out at that point. And I'm like, oh, cool, can I buy the popcorn bucket now? And she's like, oh, when you go into the movie theater, you order, and you can order the popcorn bucket there. I was like, the movie starts at 3, and it's 1:45, 1:50 at this point, but we start seating people at 2:30. So I'm like, oh my God, like, are you kidding me? Like, I have to go into the theater, order, like, is it like if I was gonna stay there? I was like, all right, whatever. So I sit it out, but before I start sitting out, in my mind, I'm like, damn, like, they just sold out of tickets. So now these two people that were waiting, especially the guy who was waiting before me, that was contemplating whether or not he wanted to buy a ticket, now doesn't have a chance to buy that popcorn bucket, because there's no more tickets for the Deadpool Wolverine showing for you to go in to buy it. So again, I just kept getting lucky over and over again. I felt bad, but I really wanted this popcorn bucket too. Who knows, am I a bad person for that? I don't know. I really wanted to collect them, and I really wanted to make this video for you guys. But I go into the theater, I sit down, the guy comes in, hey, you ever been to Alamo Draft House before? I'm like, no, I haven't, blah, blah, blah. He goes through his whole little spiel, and I press the button, and I write on the little note like you do at the Draft House. I've never been there before, it was my first time. And I just write there, Deadpool popcorn bucket. So he's like, all right, cool. He leaves. About like 20 minutes pass by, I'm sitting there, it's like 3:10, the movie's about to start pretty soon, the previews are coming on and stuff. And finally the guy comes in, popcorn bucket? I'm like, yeah, cool. So I'm sitting there, I'm eating my popcorn bucket, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is so awkward. I close out my tab, and I'm like, damn, I'm just literally gonna get up and walk out and not watch the movie. I like literally sat down for like 40 minutes just to wait for this popcorn bucket. But I'm like, whatever, I'm not gonna watch the movie. I have a ticket for later on in the day, and I'm going on a date night with, So I get up, I leave, and I leave with the popcorn bucket with popcorn still inside the head and stuff. And I drive home. It was like an hour and a half to get home because of traffic. LA traffic was insane, but I was able to find pretty much every single popcorn bucket. And I do love this one, but if Alamo Draft House ever releases another popcorn bucket, I don't think I'll ever go through that experience just to get it, because that was definitely an annoying, kind of frustrating one. Sell your popcorn buckets on the concession stand. Why not? You guys sell t-shirts, you guys sell cups. Why not have them there? Why do you got to go inside into the movie theater and order it? That's so weird. I don't get it. I don't know if that's how every Alamo Draft House is, but that's how this one was, and that's so weird. But even though this one has incredible detail, and just like the Wolverine one, you can display it and it looks really legit. It doesn't look like a popcorn bucket on display, besides the little gaps on the top, but Who cares? It looks freaking awesome. But Alamo Drafthouse, please fix that. That's so weird. And we have come to today's biggest showing of the Wolverine mouth popcorn bucket that is in competition for dirtiest looking popcorn bucket of the year. And everybody wanted this. I mean, they're already going for like $100-$150 on eBay on OfferUp. I was able to get mine for retail, obviously, because I went there when I bought the Deadpool. But this is such an insane popcorn bucket. You know, there are speculations that this wasn't even going to be a thing anymore. It was just for marketing. But then we started seeing people get them during early press screenings and stuff like that. And this is such a fun one. It's such a funny, dirty one. I love that it says, you know, designed by Deadpool, but in very small white lettering, it says can also be used for popcorn. So, you know, this was 100% intentional to be a dirty popcorn bucket. And I just love that AMC was the one carrying it. I love that they had the balls to carry this as well, just like how the movie had the balls to be what it is. And this was just such a fun one. This is probably one of those that is a little more difficult to display because it rolls and stuff like that. But again, all these popcorn buckets were so amazing. I'm so happy that I was able to collect all of them. I'm so happy that I'm fortunate enough to collect all of them because, you know, they're not all cheap, unfortunately, but it's something that I love. I love collecting stuff, as you can tell. You know, I have more collections behind the camera and stuff like that. So it's fun, and these are things that you can like pass down. You know, if I ever have kids that are into things like this with me, they can keep these as well and, you know, continue on the collection. And I just had a blast with the movie. I had a blast going around collecting these, except for the Alamo Drafthouse one. But I'm glad I was able to get all of these because these are awesome, awesome popcorn buckets. But that's going to be it for this one today. Let me know what you guys think about all the popcorn buckets. How many did you guys buy? Did you guys buy any of them? Let me know in the comment section down below. But again, if you guys like Time with movies, TV shows, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next review. Thank you.